I'm so excited to speak to our guest today. She's an aesthetic RN all the way out of Philly. Please help me to introduce La-Tasha.
Hi. So I'm La-Tasha, owner and operator at La-Mon'e Aesthetics, located in Bryn Mawr, PA, right outside of Philly.
Awesome, awesome. I'm excited to speak with you today, La-Tasha.
Yes, me too.
Hi, my name is Jonathan McLean, and I'm the founder and CEO of McLean Aesthetics.
Welcome to the dark side.
Let's go. Okay, good. So let's jump right into it.
Okay.
Tell us, how did you get started in the aesthetic industry? Like, how did you get into it?
Okay. And going way back, my initial career, I was a cosmetologist and esthetician. So I worked for big companies, Elizabeth Arden and things. And I did that for about 8 years. And my passion was always medicine. So I decided to go back to school, going back to school for nursing. Was doing nursing, love it, but kind of missed the aesthetic world, like beauty, being in a spa. But now I have this degree and I don't want it to go to waste. So I kind of looked into what my scope of practice is as a nurse. What can I do more advanced in the aesthetic world? So then I saw like, hey, I can do injectables, more in-depth skincare type treatments. So I kind of just started taking classes, like class here, class there, laser injections, advanced injections, microneedling, chemical peels, things like that. So it's about a year of classes, just straight. And then I started my practice at the end of 2019, early 2020, and then COVID hit. So I did a lot of body contouring starting out because a lot of people were getting their body done during COVID because they now had this downtime. So that was kind of my segue into kind of getting clients. So I've done a lot of body contouring and then adding on laser, injectables, and things like that. So then I just kind of merged my two things that I love.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, I know you talked a little bit about being an RN in your scope of practice. I
Yes.
know in a lot of different states, RNs can inject, but in Philly they can, which is amazing.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the struggle, or was it hard getting your first job, or how did you get that opportunity?
So my last hospital job, because I still do work as a nurse, but I'm a contractor. My last physical hospital job was in the OR. So I was working in the operating room and I was with surgeons. So I had a lot of conversations with them and talked to them, kind of like, where do I go from here? I'm taking these classes. Like, what do I do? So I had the opportunity to work with some of them for a little while. Again, it was like right before COVID hit. So then kind of everything shut down. Even in the operating room, we couldn't do elective surgeries. Everything was emergency only. So that really halted me progressing injection wise, because one, people weren't allowed to come out and they weren't coming out to get injections, and people kind of just chalked it up like, I'll get it later. So I started out at my own practice. I was always a solo provider. Getting clients injection wise was difficult. It's not easy to just get somebody to sit in your chair. So it was a lot of practicing on family, friends, and things, and then just getting those before and after pictures authentically, because I didn't want to just take from the company and take their stock photos. I wanted mine. So that took a while. So I think it's important for people to know that it's not as easy as it seems, especially for injections, to get people to get in your chair and to really have that stockpile of photos of before and afters and build that level of trust.
Yeah, no, I can definitely understand. Was your family and friends hesitant to letting you try, or how did you get them to let you try?
Some yes, some no. Some were like, okay, you can try on me, and I was so thankful for them. Luckily, I didn't jack anybody up. But yeah, they were like, well, I'll come to you later, once you know what you're doing. And that's fine. That's fine. But I did have people that were willing participants.
Yeah, no, I can definitely understand. That's super
Yeah.
cool. So how long have you been injecting now?
3 years.
3 years. And how comfortable, how long did it take for you to be comfortable?
So I feel like you should never be comfortable, because one thing I've learned just through going and doing cadaver courses and multiple injection courses, I still do courses every year. I spend a lot of money on education. There's always that healthy fear because you are injecting and you have a respect for the anatomy. So I mean, anytime I do something, I'm always that night like, oh, I hope they're fine. I hope they're fine. And I think that's a healthy fear that people should always have, because you want to have respect for the face. But I got super comfortable with Botox very quickly because that was my number one thing that I was doing a lot. So I got very comfortable with that. Probably about 6 months. I don't even want to put a time on it. It's just how many people you're doing and how often you're doing it. Just get more comfortable in tweaking your technique because nothing's cookie cutter. You're not going to treat everybody the same. You're not going to inject in the same spots for everybody. So it's just repetition and doing it often.
Super cool, super cool. So I think it also probably like your surgical, like working in a hospital with such a high volume probably had a lot to do with it.
Absolutely, yes. I was already very comfortable with needles. I'm a PIC nurse, so I placed PIC lines in people's arms to their heart. So I was very comfortable with the needle, so that wasn't a problem. So I think that's what helped me out a lot.
For new injectors that are looking to get into the field, there's so many people looking to transition from the hospital or other environments. What would you tell them? What advice would you give them before getting in the field?
Do your research, know your state. It was very mind opening. I joined AmSpa and I did their medical spa boot camp, and that was like, I mean, just the legalities of things that people don't take into consideration. Even if you decide to go out, because everybody kind of wants to just go out and do it themselves, the legalities around it in the state is very important for you to understand it because you're investing a lot of money. This is a very expensive business to be into. To get into education wise and products and services, it's a lot for you to invest. So do your research in what your state allows you to do. Continue education. People take one course for injection and they think they got it, I can inject somebody's face. It's constant. Remember, you still are in the medical field. So just like in the hospital where we do our yearly competencies, it's the same thing. So I want people to really keep that in mind. And just practice and really be diligent about it. Read a lot. I read a lot of journals, a lot of textbooks about anatomy, the face, the skin, the aging face. So it's really important to keep yourself educated. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. And I want to definitely touch on AmSpa, but before I get there, I don't want to miss this point. Where are some articles or where are some things people can find information if they're looking to learn more?
Well, this is kind of going to go back to AmSpa, but this is why AmSpa is just such a great resource, and I wish I had found it sooner. And that when you're an AmSpa member, you get that access to those resources, and they're just feeding tons of stuff in there. If you're not an AmSpa member, find injectors that you like, that you look up to, and reach out to them because a lot of them are actually very helpful in steering you in the direction of materials to read, articles, to subscribe to make sure you are up to date with the latest trends, and just following really great people and weeding them out because there's a lot of people that are social media celebrity injectors, but that aren't the best people that you want to follow and learn from, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha. How did you become a speaker at the AmSpa conference?
They asked me, so I joined AmSpa last year and I just went all in. I went to every conference that they had that year, the medical spa boot camp, injection, and the cadaver course, all in a span of I think 4 months. So they saw me every month. So I grew a relationship with the people at AmSpa. I had done a podcast when I was at their headquarters in Chicago with them. And, they created this amazing diversity track, which I thought was so important. And I was so happy that they added that. And they asked me to speak on it. So I was super humble and privileged that they asked me.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about diversity and kind of in the aesthetic industry.
Yeah. So it's crazy because when I got into this industry, one, because I wanted to get back into aesthetics, but my own skincare concerns, being somebody that's over 30 something, my skin was changing, and being a woman and in hormones and not realizing the part that plays in your skin and the changes that you're going to go through. I had sought out different dermatologists, plastic surgeons, aesthetic people for treatment options, and they really didn't have options that cater to skin of color, that were safe, that didn't have me peeling for a month, or options that had no downtime, but that were still effective. So that kind of had me on this research journey and leading to the devices that I purchased for my practice. So I think it's really important because when I started it and I get clients that come in, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that I can get laser. I didn't know that these things are for my skin. I didn't know that Black people do get Botox and that it works for us and that Black does crack. So I was getting all this feedback. So I knew that there was a need for me and people of color to be providers in this industry.
Why do you think that stigma exists, or why do you think a lot of people think that?
I think it's just something that we're told. It goes around, Black don't crack. We don't need this. And, one of the things I pointed out during my presentation was a simple thing like SPF. I know as a kid, we did not put it on. I thought SPF was suntanning lotion. That's
Yeah.
for, Caucasian. We don't put that on. We don't need that. We put cocoa butter on or oil, and we're technically baking in the sun, but we didn't know. It's just that that ignorance. We just didn't know, right? We didn't know the benefits of it. We didn't think that skin of color can get skin cancer. So these things being brought to the forefront and dermatologists really being vocal about it and really pushing SPF, and me talking to my clients, they're like, oh, I put it on if I go to the beach. And they put it on once. Like, no, you need to reapply every 2 hours. I'm like, what? So it's just really mind blowing, and, letting them know that we can get skin cancer. But unfortunately, by the time they find it and we're diagnosed with it, we're at a later stage. So be really mindful of just protecting your skin, even if you have skin of color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. What are some, I guess, maybe one or two basic skincare tips that you can give to a beginner that's looking to watching this and okay, I'm going to take it serious. I want to get serious about my skin.
Right. I think probably the biggest thing is for women, making sure that you wash your makeup off. Not going to sleep with your makeup on, and double washing, and not just using makeup wipes, because I have had clients that come in and, I ask them, what's your skincare routine now? And they'll say makeup wipes. Well, makeup wipes are just to remove the makeup. It's not a cleanser. So cleansing your skin properly, double cleansing, and cleansing twice a day. Because I think a lot of people don't do that. They don't clean their face at night. So it's really important to clean your face at night. Using the right skincare products for your skin. Nothing that's too harsh, nothing that's not actually doing what you need to do. If you suffer from acne, you need to use the right products. And SPF, that's probably my biggest thing. Making sure that people are using SPF all year round, not just the summer, not just on sunny days, every day.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to talk about you building your own spa. You're building your own clientele. How hard was that? And kind of take us through the process a little bit.
Right. So for me, because I was in the hospital, transitioning out of the hospital around that COVID time, it was a little bit difficult that first year and a half, because I was still so invested in the hospital and I was needed. I mean, it was a pandemic going on. So I was needed there. So I couldn't give my business all of me. But then it got to the point where, hey, I'm spending money on these devices and I have these products and I have this service and I'm not available. So I really had to kind of nail down and truly step back, which is hard when you're coming from that guaranteed money, that guaranteed overtime. It's really hard for people. And I think people take that for granted, that they could just walk away from the hospital. You have great insurance, you have 401k, everything's great. To step out into something that you have to invest in and put money out in first. But once I did it, it kind of just kept rolling. Yeah.
What are the best pros of this industry? What are the things that are oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm in here?
For me, it's just giving people their confidence back. I love treating people, and I get really excited. To me, when I treat somebody that, they're like, oh, I have to wear makeup every day to cover these bumps and these marks. And, I don't want to go outside. To be able to change their skin and give them that confidence back is everything. It just means so much to me. And to see that smile and they're like, I don't have to wear makeup and I could just go out and my skin is glowing. It just makes me feel so good. And I mean, that's just kind of where it goes back to medicine, is that I'm healing. You're technically healing people, especially if they're suffering from acne, rosacea, these skin conditions that they need supplemental help outside of a dermatologist. Being able to provide that to them it's so rewarding. That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What has social media? Do you think social media is necessary for an injector's career?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's free marketing. It's the biggest platform for you to showcase your work, yourself, your personality. And that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn to do, was get from behind the camera. because I just noticed through my insights that people like seeing me and, getting to know me. And then I built a level of them having trust and being comfortable. Like, oh, she looks like me. Oh, she's my age. Oh, just that relatability. And so that was something that I had to get over. And I saw the difference. And once I got in front of the camera and just talked to people instead of just showing before and afters, so, but it's very important. It's necessary, but you have to do other things outside of social media.
So do you think that's a good point that you made? Do you think you have to be very personable and kind of share your life in order for more clients to come see you?
I think there's a fine line.
Uh-huh.
I think you definitely always want to be professional.
Uh-huh.
But showing you and your personality, I feel like is very important because especially for the skin of color community, because they can be hesitant to get these invasive procedures. They want to feel like they can trust you. A lot of times my clients come in and they say, I feel like I know you already because I'm in front of the camera and I'm talking to them and I'm being silly or whatever. Like I'm a goofball. So people like that. I'm a chatty Cathy. People like that. They feel comfortable with that. So I feel like that's really important. You don't really have to show your too much of your personal life. That's up to you and how much you want to show. But people like to see, especially for people that want to get into this industry. And I've had people reach out to me and say, oh, you're a mom. Oh, you're in school too. And you work as an injector and you work in the hospital, that relatability. So I think sometimes it is good to show that because then you never know who you can connect with and motivate.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
How do you keep a like family and work? Like, how do you do that work-life balance? How does that work?
It just does. It's very hard. It's hard. I'm trying to get better at it. I think everybody struggles with that if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're a woman, because we do a lot in the household as well. That's just where your support comes in, and you just try to do the best you can. It's a job that requires a lot of you outside of the practice. When you get home, it doesn't stop. So I tell people you leave the hospital for a 12-hour shift to do a 24-hour job. This is 24 hours, I'm up all night, early mornings. So you just have to have that support.
What do
But I
you
tell
do
people
to
go at your pace.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What do you do to kind of unwind and relax and kind of escape?
Vacation, hanging out with friends and family. Yeah, I like to read. So reading, I'm a geek, but reading, I actually like reading. So reading articles and journals and not having something else to do to be able to just sit back and enjoy an article or something. Preferably on the beach would be nice, but I don't get that often.
Yeah, no, I get you. I definitely understand that. Any favorite spots you looking to go to next?
Vacation wise?
Yeah.
Actually, for the first time, I'm going to New Orleans. So I am super excited.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Good food.
I know. I'm probably going to gain 10 pounds and I don't care. Yes, I'm super excited. I just want to go to just eat. I just want to eat and, visit some places. And yeah, so that's my next stop. I'm going there in May. So I'm excited about that.
Super cool. Super cool. Now, is there any white glove tips that you give to your clients when they come in to really keep them coming back and back again and again?
Well, so I advise all my clients to do, especially if it's for skincare or any type of long-term injection plans, like a wedding or something like that. I try to give everybody a plan. So I have everybody come in for a consult and I kind of create a plan. This is our plan. So if I have a wedding coming up, but I don't want to go from one to the next, we kind of want to layer on. We'll create a 6 to 9 month plan to get you the results you want for your wedding or event. If it's a skincare thing, like right now, everybody wants to have glowing skin by the summer. So I have everybody on their plan that this is your plan. These are the skincare products I want you to use. This is our treatment plans that I kind of want you to follow. I think that's the biggest thing is just giving them a customized plan for them. Everybody's plan is going to look very different.
Gotcha. Now, for injectors looking to upgrade their skills, for new injectors, anybody on any level, is there any trainings that you can suggest?
Yes. So I can't say this enough. It was recommended to me by a master injector to do a cadaver course. And when I did that cadaver course, it was mind blowing again. It was, I looked at faces so differently after I took that class. Your appreciation it's like you have X-ray vision instantly. I don't see the face the way I saw it before. So I tell every injector, within your first 2 years, at least, take a cadaver course. It's just going to make you a better injector. And then do advanced injection training. AmSpa has one with Dr. Chris Sturck. He has the AIA courses, and then they have an advanced injection course. And then wherever you're located at, find injectors. There's a lot of them that have Patreons, and they do courses. Finding any of those nurses to kind of get under and either shadow with them or do an injection course with them. But injection courses constantly. I probably do 4 or 5 a year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Invest in your training. That's the best thing. You're investing in yourself. You're the business. So
Right. And
definitely
it may
that's-
seem like a lot, but you take something from each one. And some of them may be more in depth than others, or some may just focus on the mid phase. Some may just focus on tox, but you gain something that makes you perfect your niche and makes you perfect who you are as an injector, because nobody's going to inject the same. Everybody injects differently. So it's really important to just listen to as many different people as you can to kind of pick up things that work for you.
Is there any key opinion leaders that you would suggest for the audience to follow?
I love Dr. Sturck, Dr. Chris Sturck. He's amazing. Injector Bunny, Audrey Rose, Tox Josh. He's great. These are all the social media. They're the celebrities, but they're all amazing. They're amazing people to follow. And I can't remember her name, but her spa is in Florida. Cute Looks.
Ebony.
Spa. Yes,
Ebony.
yes. Love her.
Black.
She's like my Instagram friend. we chat a lot, but she's great too. So yeah, you just want to find good people, and you have to weed the others out.
Nice. I love that. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me and speaking more about the aesthetic industry. Tell
Absolutely.
everybody. Yeah, no worries. Tell everybody where they can find you, what you got planned next.
So you guys can find me on Instagram at La-Mon'e Aesthetics. I'm again located in Bryn Mawr, PA, right outside of Philadelphia. And actually, I have a conference next week in Atlanta, impacting women conference in business. So I have that coming up. No AmSpa events right now that I can think of, but probably some to come.
Awesome. And until next time, bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.